welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you are new, hi, I'm Cora. Make sure you check out the description box below for links to all my social accounts as well as my website, corashay.com. So let's jump into the video. Today I'm going to be sharing habits that I wish I would have started sooner in my life. Habits to start in your 20s. I will be 25 next month, and I definitely wish that I had started these habits when I was like 19, 20, 21. And I think that it would have made the last 5 years, the first 5 years of being in my 20s, a lot better. So I'm hoping to share this knowledge with you all. So if you're in high school or college, that hopefully you can start implementing these habits now to set yourself up for success. Habit number 1, I wish I did sooner, was setting more goals. I am a very number-driven person, so I don't know why it took me so long to realize that goals were like the way to go for me. But setting goals has been so essential and so helpful for my life. I started really setting a lot of goals in the last year, and I definitely wish it was a habit I got into a lot sooner. Number 2, learning to cook food you actually like at home. I was really guilty of cooking either really quick food or healthy food at home, but I was not the best at learning how to cook actually food that I enjoyed. So if I was ever in the mood for like more of a comfort meal, which happens a lot for me, I would go out to eat, which was not only more unhealthy than if I were to make it at home more times than that, but also more expensive. I wish that I would have sooner learned to make like comfort meals and food that I actually enjoy at home. But number 3, taking better care of my skin. I now wear sunscreen absolutely religiously, basically every single day, reapply it like twice a day. And I really wish I would have started that sooner, because I think some of the issues with my skin I would have been able to prevent if I would have started wearing sunscreen more regularly like 5 or so years ago. Number 4, finding and sticking to an exercise I actually enjoy. I have tried running so many times. I ran a half marathon in college. I've on and off tried to be a runner like my entire life, and that's not the exercise for me. I don't like running. I do not have the knees for it. It's not for me. And I spent so much time trying to make it a habit to do an exercise that I don't like, when instead I could have just been making a habit of an exercise that I actually enjoy, which for me, I really like Pilates. A little bit more engaging activities for exercise, and that's what works for me. So I recommend you finding the exercise that actually works for you and is one that you actually somewhat enjoy doing, and then making that a habit. Number 5, I wish I would have learned the habits of healthier sleep schedule sooner. I get that in high school and college we're all guilty of some levels of like depriving ourselves of sleep because there's not enough time in the day and life gets in the way. But I do think that if I would have learned a healthy sleep schedule sooner in life, it would have definitely resulted in a better college experience for me. And then right out of college, I still didn't have anywhere near a good sleep schedule. I just found one recently. And I did share my tips and tricks for that. I will link that post below. Number 6 is I wish that I would have made it a habit to set annual medical appointments sooner. I'm talking about the eye doctor, dentist. If you have female parts, going to an OBGYN every single year. I wish that I would have done better at making that a habit so that it wasn't so overwhelming when I got old enough that I really like needed to start doing those. But you should do them sooner because they can catch things. Number 7, I wish I would have made it a habit to take every career opportunity I got. And I know that doesn't necessarily sound like a habit, but what I mean from there is saying yes to conferences, seminars, additional trainings, online courses, anything like that. I wish that I would have taken those opportunities sooner rather than later and made it a habit to say yes to opportunities that could grow my career sooner. Number 8, keeping my resume and LinkedIn updated. It is overwhelming when you find yourself in a situation where now you need to job search and you have to completely update every element of your resume, your LinkedIn. If you have a professional website, if you have a portfolio, anything like that, just keep them updated as you win an award, as you hit another year at a job, anything like that. Keep those things updated if your title changes, so that it's less overwhelming and you're not racking your brain to remember different things. Next, I wish I would have made it a habit to learn to manage money better. I think that most people wish they learned how to manage money better at a younger age. I have 20 tips that I learned in my 20s about money management. I will link that post below. The next habit is a little bit less black and white, and that is working on making it a habit to not make everyone else's opinions a priority. I know that this is not a phenomenon that I am alone in. I know that a lot of people struggle with people pleasing and feeling like everyone else's ideas of you and your life are more important and more of a priority than your own opinions. And sometimes it's hard to really actualize that that's what you're doing and that's how you feel. But when you start to make it a habit that every time someone states an opinion about your life, that you don't internalize it. And in a lot of cases, that's going to mean setting boundaries and telling people that I love you, I respect you, but that's not an opinion on my life that I am asking for. Kind of denying unsolicited advice is going to be something that can make your life so much better. Kind of changing pace here for the next habit, and that is consistent decluttering and just maintaining a clutter-free home. For a very long time, I moved every year in my 20s, which I know is very common for a lot of other people in their 20s. I had 2 years where I was in the same apartment in college. Other than that, I pretty much from the age of 18 to 24 moved every year. And in that process, it kind of helped me declutter to some extent, because like as you're moving, you get rid of stuff. But then I realized once I have a house that I didn't actually have any decluttering habits in place. I didn't have any habits in place to stop me from letting clutter build up. So I had to learn those habits at 24 or 25 because I didn't have those habits in place sooner. I wish that I had. It would have made things a lot easier, and I definitely recommend learning how to do that. The next habit is one that's pretty obvious, but oh my goodness, start doing it, please, is drinking more water. I know you probably heard this like a billion times, but it literally took me until I was 24 to actually internalize that drinking water is really good for you. I know that sounds stupid, like I knew it was good for me, but I didn't realize how good it was for me, and that it had benefits. My skin improved, it helped with me literally eating healthier food. It makes me feel more energized. I have like a giant Yeti, and I drink like 4 or 5 of those a day, and seriously, start drinking more water. Next up is learning healthy routines. So morning routine, after work routine, and night routine are the 3 big ones that I recommend getting into habits within those. That could be a video in and of itself. If anyone wants those videos, let me know. I have some posts on different routines that I have in my life, and I'll link those below as well. Is getting into the habit of using a weekly planner. Life gets chaotic. Life gets insane. It happens. It happens to everyone, and you get to points where you feel like you are not on top of things. You feel like life is just running you. You're not running your life, right? And one of the best ways that I learned to get that under control was using a weekly planner and actually staying consistent with it and making it become a habit. I have it to set it up every week and to check it multiple times throughout the day. That really helped me avoid missing deadlines and just feeling less overwhelmed with everything that life was throwing at me. And the final habit that I wish that I would have started doing much sooner is to get outside more regularly. I think especially with everything that happened in the last year and a half, it's hard for a lot of us to make things like that a priority. And it's also harder because you're not going out and about as much. But I found that when I made it a priority to make sure that I was getting at least 30 minutes of being outside every single day, even in the winter, for me it was walking the dog in the winter, walk her still now in the spring and the summertime, but I also make an effort to just read outside as much as possible, just sit on the patio, eat dinner outside, drink my coffee in the morning outside if at all possible. Fresh air and sunlight is so essential. And I know that seems like another thing that like, oh, everyone knows that, like we all know that sun is important, right? Are you actually making sure that it's a habit to get sunlight every single day, to get fresh air, to get out of your house? You know, I feel like for a very long time I was in a place where I would wake up in the morning, I'd go right to my car, I'd go to work, I'd come home, I'd stay inside. Other than letting the dog out briefly to go to the bathroom, I was never outside. And I felt worse because of it, physically, mentally, emotionally, everything like that. And when I started making an effort to get outside more, I felt significant improvements in my mental and physical well-being. Alright guys, I hope that this video was helpful and gave you some ideas of habits that you could start implementing into your life so that you can learn them now when you're 20s and you're able to learn new things. I mean, you can always learn new things, but when you're like in a prime of your life for learning new things and implementing habits and routines and getting into routines. If you have any habits that you wish that you would have learned sooner rather than later, leave those in the comments below so we can all help each other out. I hope that you have a wonderful day and that you're staying safe out there. Bye guys.